Right, hello. I thought I'd address the fact of the milestone of 100 subscribers. I know compared to a lot of channels that's not a lot, but for me it's more than I thought I'd ever get, so thank you everybody for supporting the channel and all the new subscribers. I welcome you. Really, I just want to say, thanks very much, but also this kind of videos I normally do is just off the cuff. I'll be walking through the garden one day and if I find something of interest, I think, yeah, I'll do a video on that. But of course I'm always open if someone wants a specific plant or any details, then I'm quite happy to do a video on that. I did have someone ask me how long I've been gardening, and the short answer is I've lived at this particular property for about 14 years. I've sort of looked after the garden but not actually got into gardening properly to the last 4 or 5 years. Some of the bigger plants, I mean, like the Phoenix Canariensis and the Cordylines, have obviously been in for 10 years or so. Maybe the Canariensis maybe 8 or 9 years, but they were just sort of, before I really got into the tropical look, they were just sort of architectural looking plants at the time, and obviously since then my passion has grown for the more exotic, tropical, unusual look. So yeah, again, I tend to see a plant I like and then try and shoehorn it in somewhere. So it's not the best idea. I mean, ideally if you start from scratch you should have your main plants, if you like, maybe your palms or something like that, a more solid starting point, and work your way from that. For me, I'm guessing my passion for the tropical starts way back when I was young, and I obviously as a child I had a thing for dinosaurs, and that then grew into a passion for keeping reptiles, which I'd done for many years. Used to have quite a large selection of snakes and lizards and that sort of thing. I've sort of scaled back that collection down to basically just the few frogs I've got now. But so yeah, from there sort of everything sort of prehistoric, and prehistoric to me screams sort of tropical, so why not have a garden that's a little bit prehistoric? So yeah, a little bit of untidiness, a little bit of overgrownness here and there, as long as it's the full effect, I think that it's not a bad thing. But anyway, so I thought I'd just have a quick look at the couple of plants here. So the grapevine, I think this is third summer in, and it's absolutely gone mental this year. The vines last year were to here, so all this is new. There are some bunches of grapes on there, all seem to be tucked away behind the leaves. So these are green grapes. I think they're getting pretty close to being ready to pick. So yeah, not necessarily what you might think of as tropical, but I mean certainly covers the fence, and the leaves are a reasonable size, and I suppose gives you that green backdrop. They're not particularly huge leaves, but that does give you a good background for some other plants. I quite like the Milianthus major this year. We had a harsh winter and that really hit it bad. that set it back quite a bit, so I literally cut the whole thing back to the ground, other than one. I think this one here you can see growing through the grapevine, that was the one stem I left, and everything else was cut down. And so you can see in even the sort of cooler summer we've had, they're still pushed to 3.5, 4 foot. But interestingly, some of the earlier leaves, you can see a little bit of rust. I think that's the August we had, where there's just literally no sun. So we had nearly a whole month where we've had very little sun and sort of poor temperatures and not really much airflow, no wind, so that sort of probably didn't help the situation. So I think that's where that's come from. But you can see over the last couple of weeks we've had better temperatures, a bit of sun, and new growth is looking a lot more healthy. You know, it's pristine, looking really good. So again, that's normally pretty hardy. Didn't normally have a problem with that during the winter. Last year is the first, or winter just gone, was the first time I had to cut it back. So it really did look quite rough and brown. But I mean, you can see it does bounce back pretty quick. So if we have a fairly mild winter this year, I'm sure come next year that will be, you know, 6 foot height the fence again. I don't know if anyone else grows this, but just by touching it, you get a peanut buttery smell. I think that's the sort of common name for it as well, peanut butter bush. It's quite an interesting smell. Not quite peanut butter, it's got something else mixed in with it, but yeah. Not a bad plant, you know, you can pick them up pretty cheap and they grow pretty quick. And like I say, they are normally pretty hardy. And even if you do get a bad winter, cut them right back to the ground and they soon shoot up again. So I think that'll do it, because time's getting on and I want some tea. So again, thanks everyone, and thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.